Hey, bro. I hope your day is off to a great start. I'm actually at a odd place to be recording a video at, so it might be kind of noisy. I'm actually at the Phoenix airport. I am actually headed out to the Bay Area today. Had my aunt pass away a couple of weeks ago, and I'm gonna go spend some time with family and just celebrate her life. Spend some time with the people that I love. I'm talking about love. Today is actually Valentine's Day, and this is going to be the first time in 16 years, the first Valentine's Day in 16 years that I have not spent time with my wife. Kind of down about that. However, we do have a vacation planned out in a couple of weeks, and I'm looking forward to spending some alone time with her. Yay! Um, Anyhow, those of you that don't know me, my name is John Eli, I'm a virtual mindset coach, and I like to pop up here at least once a week and share thoughts with you with the intention of empowering you to be the person that you were created to be. And I come from a mindset that believes that each and every one of us was created for greatness. However, it's up to us to accept responsibility to do the work that is needed for us to be all that we were purposed to be. And that's I pop up here. I work a lot with men. I coach men who are going through difficulties of climbing out of their stuckness. And for some people, that stuckness is choices that they've made, and they've allowed those choices to be a label. It's become their identity, and they're trying to find a way out of it, navigate a way out of it. Others times, they find themselves stuck because other people made choices, and now they're having to navigate what life means because people made those choices. With that in mind, I want to talk to you today about four types of thinking errors that we can make, and it's different ways of thinking that sometimes we think we have these habits. They're unconscious habits, and they cause us more harm than cause us good. They keep many people imprisoned. It keeps people from moving forward. It keeps people in an unhealthy state because it keeps them holding bitterness. It keeps them with grudges. It keeps them under a blanket of stress. And to be able to move forward in life, we have to lessen our load. So I want to share these with you so that way you can develop an awareness of them, and whenever you see them coming up in life, you're able to move forward and out of that mindset. The first one that I want to share with you is overgeneralization. And really what this means is whenever you begin to overgeneralize everything. One of the best examples I can give you is perhaps a guy who dates a highly educated woman who has a professional career. And they have a breakout. And undoubtedly, it's undeniable, this woman was an absolute jerk and just a horrible person through and through. And because of this experience, this man begins to make a generalization that all women who are educated and have a professional career, that all of them are always jerks. And whenever we allow ourselves to think that way, what we end up doing is we end up creating a chasm between us and specific groups of people that perhaps might end up being people who might help us in the future or that we could have a healthy relationship with. It keeps us from experiencing life to its fullest because we create these unnecessary barriers. You see a lot of people doing this even whenever it comes to politics. Just take a look down your social media feed, and there's all these people making comments about conservatives, liberals, progressives, and they have this mindset that everybody is absolutely the same. But if you were to have a conversation with each one individually, more than likely they have a lot of different ways of thinking, but you've just generalized that all of them think exactly the same. Anyhow, be aware of that way of thinking because that is a thinking error. The other one is a misconception of life, and that's whenever people begin to make a generalized statement that becomes a core belief about life. For example, whenever someone says life is meaningless, or they say like life is painful, or this world is a horrible place. whenever you create this belief about your experience in life and your experience walking this world, that's going to be the way that you relate to it. And that's going to be the foundation by which you live. And if you think that life is worthless, well, then you're not really going to invest in yourself to really experience life. You're going to just have a I don't care attitude, and you'll probably end up having the same miserable experience day in and day out. So it's important to be aware of that type of thinking error. Another one is the denial of one's basic worth. And that's whenever a person takes on the identity that they themselves are worthless. Or take, for example, today. Today is Valentine's Day. There's sometimes some people will say, you know what, I don't have a date today, so that means I'm unlovable. And instead of allowing their experience to be like just something that happens one time on a Valentine's Day, that they're alone, they take on this identity of being unlovable. And then whenever they interact with others, that's the space that they're coming from. And so whenever they interact with people, they interact on the defensive, and it keeps them from really developing rich relationships because they're constantly judging themselves and judging themselves falsely. The last thinking error that I want to share with you is unrealistic values. It's faulty values. It's whenever you have a value that is so strong that you will pursue it at any cost. I'll give you an example of this. I love being right. Who doesn't, right? But the moment that I care more about being right than I care about the relationships around me, I'm eventually going to hurt them. I'm going to make people feel stupid. People aren't going to want to be around me. I'm going to cause damage, right? Or let's say that I value like success so much that I don't care about the planet. And all of a sudden, let's say that I have a side business, and the side business is that I create a lot of trash. I create a ton of trash every day, and I just pile it up in my backyard. And I don't care that it's bothering the neighbors. My house stinks, my yard stinks, my life stinks. Eventually it's going to cause some type of disruption. And there's a lot of people will have a certain value. They'll value something so much that they'll care less about who it hurts. And ultimately you have to identify who it is that you care about. But if you find yourself at a place where you care more about your values than others, just be aware that that might come with consequences. So I've shared with you 4 different thinking errors. How do you break them? How do you break those habits? Well, one of the best ways that you can break out of a habit of a thinking error is to create an experiment around it, to test and see if what you believe, what you've been believing is really true. For example, let's take the individual, the guy that we talked about at the beginning, that perhaps had a horrible date with a highly educated woman. And he's created this faulty belief that all educated women are jerks. What he can begin to do is strategically place himself around highly educated women and interact with them to test and see if all of them are truly jerks or whether it's a belief that he's created out of an experience. We have to have a willingness to have an open mind to prove that our core belief might actually be wrong. So be aware of that, embrace that openness, and set a time limit on it. It might be something that you might try out for a week. I wouldn't set a large time limit on it because it could be something that you lose interest in. So do that. Another example would be someone that is feeling unlovable. Let's take that because it's Valentine's Day, right? So someone that is feeling unlovable could actually begin to ask people for feedback on that. And not just asking people that care about them, because we all know that our mom's going to say we're lovable, at least for most of us. But ask people that perhaps know you on a professional basis, in a professional manner at work. Have a conversation. People that perhaps you don't interact with on a day-to-day basis, but that you still value what they have to say. And here's the reason why I tell you to do this, because there is a chance, there is opportunity that you're going to get validation. People are going to tell you that you are lovable, but there might also be those people that might provide you with feedback that is basically opportunities for growth. Perhaps there's something that you're doing on a daily basis that is creating this disturbance from people approaching you, and perhaps you don't have an awareness of it. You can develop that awareness by asking people for feedback. Anyhow, I know I've dropped a lot of information on you here today. I really appreciate you tuning in. I know this is a longer a longer video. Usually don't post videos that are this long. But I want to ask you for a favor. If what I am sharing here resonates with you, please do me a favor, give it a like, and also leave a comment. Share it with somebody. Please share it on your social media. Invite people to follow me as well. It is my commitment to keep on putting out content that will empower you to be all that you were created to be. So please do me a favor and do that. If you are somebody that perhaps is needing someone to hold space for you to be able to work through these things, please give me a call. You can set up a discovery call with me by clicking on the link in my Instagram. You can also go to my website at www.john-eli.com. I'd be honored to be able to help you out. But anyhow, look forward to hearing back from you. Look forward to having more of this conversation. You go out and be great, my friend. Be blessed.